Hello, hello, hello. It's coffee time indeed. It is indeed coffee time. Remember, I'm here to read the Daily Mail website, so you don't have to. Back on the horse. It's all kicking off. We're doing the, you remember protests, Just Stop Oil, and well, the public are getting tired of it. And we've seen members of the public dragging them off the road where they've been blocking roads. But this fella, well, it's a video, so I'm gonna have to cue it up. It's a good one. You're gonna like this. This is a good one. Let me just get it queued up for you. Here we go. So this guy, he's spraying the place orange, and yeah, it's all. This reminds me of the tango adverts. Do you remember the tango adverts? You know when you've been tangoed. Yeah. So we call this an uneasy standoff, a truce maybe, I don't know. But yeah, a fire extinguisher filled with orange paint. That was in London today. Yeah, so there you go. That was trying to vandalise the MI5 building in Marsham Street in Westminster. And yeah, passersby got waded in and got stuck in. But of course, we've had News Corp has been sprayed. They love spraying things, don't they? The Bank of England, because this all makes sense, doesn't it? And really, it's just getting silly now. Meanwhile. Is anyone following our government with our new Prime Minister? Much better than the old one, Rishi Sunak. Well, I don't know if you noticed. Did you? You been following it? Have you? Or are you like me, just trying to turn your brains off from all this politics, all the politicos? Well, anyway, by some weird quirk of fate, Suella Braverman ended up as back in her position. Because she quit or was fired by Liz Truss for using a private email address for sending sensitive material out. And then he reinstated her. And everyone's gone, well, wait a minute, she's only done like 6 days in the sin bin. Well, anyway, she's admitted to sending 6 more official documents via private email. And of course, everyone's getting a little bit concerned about security, because also it's come out that Liz Truss's mobile phone was hacked by those bloody Russians again. Apparently, she had a parcel that she needed to pay £1.29 on, and she clicked the link. She got that text, I believe. I'm joking. I'm speculating. I'm sure the Russians are more sophisticated than that when it comes to hacking phones. But yeah, we have somebody who was fired or resigned. I mean, how this woman, I don't know what deal she did with Sunak. She shouldn't be there. I mean, again, if you're a member of the civil service or a police officer or anyone who deals with sensitive information and you use a private email address, you're for the high jump. She should be for the high jump. I'm sure they can find someone else. No? Meanwhile, we have a new boss at Twitter, don't we? It's Elon. Elon's everywhere. But yeah, when the staff came in, the Twitter staff, they came in and went, "What's that smell?" I went, "It's Musk. Elon Musk." I don't write any stuff. I make it up as I go along. And it's up to you to enjoy it. But yeah, he's bought Twitter now for $44 billion. I think he got ripped off. But yeah, he's making lots of lots of plans, and he's going to fire 25% of Twitter staff, which again no one's going to notice because, I imagine they all sat there just blocking and banning women mainly. Or I'm going there, aren't I? But yeah, the new Twitter CEO has been working. He's been working really hard. One, to lay off 25% of the staff, but he's going to be introducing Twitter Blue. Oh, that sounds like fun. What's Twitter Blue? Sounds a bit saucy. Is it X-rated Twitter? Is it like OnlyFans? No, Twitter Blue is going to be a revamped verification scheme. Again, if you use Twitter and you've been verified, you get a little tick. Now, the thing about their verification system is it's very infuriating, because if you are like me, I'm verified on Facebook. I still don't know how that happened. They emailed me. They said, "Do you want to be verified?" I went, "Yeah," because it's free. But this isn't going to be free. But if you want to be verified at the moment on Twitter, it's quite complicated. And you've got to, if you're like me, who does music and stuff, I wanted it to be, verified so people know it's me, But you have to go jump through flaming rings to get verified, and I've never managed to be able to do it. But now they're saying that it's going to be $20 a month, and to be verified. Now I think that's interesting. One, it's going to mean that they're going to have a revenue stream coming in almost instantly, and two, it means that more people are either going to take up the verification system, so we can actually say, yeah, this is me and it's not a fake account, because again there's a lot of fakery going on out there, and but also it might dissuade those who do have the verification, who don't use it, to drop it. So it actually has a value to that verification system, the symbol. It should be interesting, but yeah, he's said he's actually gone in there and said they've got a week to get this in place. His coders have got a week to get the Twitter Blue system launched. He wants it up by November the 7th. And as somebody who uses Twitter a lot, I tend to use it more as a news feed than anything else. If it's a bit lower than that, if it's, I don't know, a tenner a month, I might consider it, because I do use it, and it's something, again, things I use I tend to pay for. But yeah. That's going to be interesting, isn't it? Be interesting. Got this terrible story out of it's out of South Korea. This 154 people killed in a crush, and again, seeing footage of it on the TV, it was just absolutely bizarre. And here you go, this is what happened. People were massing, going out and having a Halloween party parade, and for some reason the sheer amount of people just filtered down one side street and ended up with them being, this massive crush where 154 people died. And again, saw the footage on the TV, and it was absolutely terrifying. Terrifying thing to witness. Wow. But they were saying it's because they've been in lockdown, there were more people on the streets. But for some reason this group peeled off, and they don't know what caused it. And you get this with animals, with migratory animals. Sometimes they end up going off a cliff and things, and it's that kind of mass movement of people. I find it fascinating. But yeah, very, very sad story, that. Very, 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 very sad. And then we got the thoroughly bizarre story at the weekend. Down in Dover, where the White Cliffs are, we have immigration centres to deal with all the people coming over, the migrants coming over on the boats and everything. And one fella, and I've actually got a still footage of him, it's still shot of this guy throwing what they describe as a petrol bomb. You can actually see it in mid-air there. And they reckon he threw several of these explosive devices at the immigration centre. Luckily, no one died, but I think a couple of people were injured, and 700 migrants had to be evacuated. And then the fellow who did this, they reckon he drove 100 miles to get there, and then he drove to a nearby BP petrol station where he killed himself in a white Seat Terracotta SUV, which had a blue disabled badge on the dashboard. I mean, they say they're not treating it as terrorism, but I think now we've got to the point where terrorism doesn't necessarily have to have a political motive, because in the past you defined, and again this is something I used to use as terrorism. Usually you had to have it. It usually had to have a political motive for it to be like a terrorist act, like what the IRA used to do, and Tim McVeigh did in America. Those people had political motivations, But now I don't think you need it. If you're acting in a way that's going to cause terror to people, I think we need to accept a much broader definition of the word terrorism, because they reckon that this guy isn't a terrorist, but he's acted in a way that would cause terror to people, wouldn't it? We need to redefine it. But yeah, absolutely bizarre story. And you can see here some of the flames. Oh well, at least we don't have to have a court case, and we don't have to put him in prison. Right, where are we? Well, meanwhile, now this is another story about immigration. This is the union figures have warned that a immigration centre in Manston, they describe it like a pressure cooker. Right, the former RAF airfield, which is home to, we're supposed to home 1,600 migrants, but it's been housing more than 4,000, and 700 were busting from the Dover petrol bomb attack. Have we got a picture of the place from the air? Here we go. This is what it looks like from the air. But yeah, the unions have warned it's not going to be good there, and there's chances of possible riots, overcrowding, and they're actually reporting an outbreak of diphtheria. Now again, diphtheria is something that we don't get because we're all vaccinated against it, because again our health system vaccinates us against diphtheria when we're babies. But again, these people come from all over the world and they don't have access to the health care that we do. So surely these people, as soon as they rock up, they need to be inoculated, because you're looking at a major outbreak of health, a health crisis. It's absolutely bonkers, absolutely bonkers. But there we go. We need to brighten this up a bit. Must be some fun. Must be some fun stories. No, they're not. These are not fun stories today. This is an interesting story. This is the story of Donna Patterson. She worked at Morrison's, and here she is. And she took them to court. She took them to court for discrimination. She claimed she was discriminated against the supermarket when she returned to work after maternity leave. Now, again, this is something that a lot of women face after they have children. It's something that we experienced, and I warn the missus against, because when you go off and have a baby and you have maternity leave, when you come back, you often find yourself sidelined, or your job hours reduced, or your position reduced or replaced. This happens a lot. Well, anyway, Donna Patterson took Morrison's to court, and when she was actually a confectionery buyer, and when she came back, she was informed by HR that there's been a restructure of her position, and she had to work in core grocery, which is again something she wasn't. She was a buyer. It's a completely different part of the supermarket. But anyway, she took them to court. She actually defended herself. She actually put the case herself, because she couldn't afford the £300 an hour legal fees that came with it, and she won. She beat them. It's been described as a David and Goliath battle, and they're comparing her to a modern day Erin Brockovich. Again, that's a film that starred Julia Roberts. Go and watch it, it's very good. And she won £60,000 from Morrison's, so that's a good thing. But yeah, this is something that happens to a lot of women when they return from maternity leave. Oh God, it's all Halloween. All Halloween stories. Anyway, let's do some court news. This is Rebecca Cowan, and she's showing some major duck face in this picture. What has she been up to? Well, she was. She's been found guilty of assault. She admitted assault because. On September the 18th, her neighbours called the police because there was a ruckus at her home, and she decided to attack the policeman. She tried to bite one of the policemen in front of her 3 children. This was at 4 a.m. in the morning, and she was drunk and violent. And now she faces jail because, well, she admitted it. She done admitted it. So yeah, sentencing is going to be on November the 22nd. We'll have to see. What kind of sentence she gets. I've got to find this one. And I've got some more court news. This is the story of Peter Lurwill. Let's have a look at him. What do you think he's been up to? What do you think? Do you think he's a good lad? Well, Mr. Lurwill, right, has been jailed for 12 weeks. What did he do? Well, he was caught. He was caught by a member of the public, right? He was caught by a member of the public trying to have sex with a dog. Yeah. But he was dressed as a woman whilst he was trying to have sex with the dog. Yeah. The incident happened at Hurstpier Point in West Sussex, where Lurwill comes from. And he's banned from owning dogs for 5 years, and he's been put on the sex offenders register for the same amount of time. At Lewes Crown Court, they heard the case. He was sentenced to 12 weeks in prison. He's got a 5-year criminal behaviour order for owning a dog or having unsupervised custody or control of a dog, and on the sex offenders register for 5 years. The dog was taken to the vet to be checked out, and it was okay. It was okay. But yeah, he changed his plea to guilty after forensic samples obtained during the dog assessment strengthened the case that there had been sexual activity with the dog. It was a bit rough. That's just rubbish. That's just rubbish, wasn't it? Yeah. What have we got? How about this fella? This is no more cult news. This is Zach Ramage. Right? He's a paintball marshal. Yeah. What did he? Is there any pictures of him? No, there aren't any pictures of him. But he was spared jail because at Mayhem Paintball in Kent, he shot 9-year-old boys in their genital area with the paintball gun and called them the C word, see you next Tuesdays. He shot a number of them at point blank range. One of them was actually shot in the neck, and you can see the bruise there. But yeah, he avoided, and there's someone got shot in the arm there. He avoided jail. But yeah, he was accused of terrorising the children during a children's party. The 39-year-old from Gravesend in Kent said, this is a mother of one. She was 39-year-old from Kent said, it was absolutely shocking and unbelievable that the person who was meant to be in charge was suddenly subject him to this. I'm still disgusted by it. Yeah. She continued, he called them names. He called them I can't say that word, it's not a very nice word. He called them that word. That's not a nice word. And he told them to F off. I couldn't do that because, yeah. And we're talking about a group of 9-year-old boys here. So, yeah. And here is a file image of some people paintballing, just in case you didn't know what they are. But yeah, Tom Davey, who runs Mayhem Paintball, said Ramage was sacked the same evening. And the company has never had an incident like it. There we go. But yeah, luckily he avoided prison. Isn't that lucky? Isn't he lucky there? Even though he was charged with 15 counts of assault. My goodness. How about some of this? This is Bazia Query. She's from Las Vegas in Nevada. And she paid to have $350 lip fillers. Yeah. You know what's coming. If you've been here before, you know what's coming next. Oh yeah, she went totally duck-faced there. Yeah, some impressive lips. She certainly got her $350 worth, didn't she? What? Do we have any other pictures? Oh yeah, here's a picture of her with her lips at normal size, just to get an idea just how huge the lips are. Good news, everybody. We're going to Washington State. And we've got not all heroes wear capes. No. Some of them have gavels. Yeah, Judge Ricardo S. Martinez. He's a U.S. district judge. He's overturned a ruling which he deems unconstitutional. What's the ruling, Darren? Oh, wait a minute. There's somebody at the door. Just the Amazon man, nothing interesting. But yeah, we're going back to, like I said, Washington State. Judge Ricardo S. Martinez, he's overturned a very, very important piece of legislation. He has restored, again, I didn't even know this, he's restored the bikini baristas. Yeah, they banned women from serving coffee in bikinis. But he ruled it as unconstitutional. Yeah, and for those who don't know, this is from the Hilly Billy Espresso. You have ladies dressed like this serving you coffee. It certainly gives you a little bit of pep. Something for the dads there. I do all the routines, but yeah, apparently, yeah, they banned it. They banned in 2017. They banned bikini baristas. No, I was not familiar with this, and now you can now go and ogle. I'm sure they've got men doing it too. But yeah, it's taken them, like I said, for nearly 5 years to get it overturned. This has been rumbling on since 2017. There you go, but amazing stuff. Animal news. Let's go to the jungles of Indonesia, to the Jambi province on the western island of Sumatra. Yeah, this is the story of. Well, let me show you it. It's a python. Here it is. Do you see the python? That's an impressive looking snake. The thing is, that python contains a grandmother. Yeah, grandmother was eaten alive by a 22-foot python in Indonesia after going. Well, she went missing, and yeah, python swallowed her. And here's a picture of the python, and well, she's inside it. That's grim, isn't it? That's a bit grim. And that's them cutting it open. Oh, this one's getting demonetised. Yeah, the 54-year-old grandmother disappeared, and yeah, they found her dead inside a 22-foot long python. She'd gone into the jungle to harvest the rubber from the trees that are there, and yeah, blimey. But we go from one, well, fast food. We go to from pythons eating grannies. Now we're doing viral videos. This is TikTok. That's the sound of their brain cells knocking together. This is again bizarre viral video doing the rounds, which has been shown nearly 500,000 times, where Australian KFC workers film themselves licking the food. And this I find utterly repulsive. Anyone that messes with food, it's just... yeah. And of course there's been a backlash. People have been demanding that these weird people should be, well, fired. Absolutely. Fired. But yeah. So it's Halloween, right? And this TikToker, again we're doing TikToker, this is Shaw's Bodge Flynn from Dublin. She decided she was going to show her dad her Halloween costume and gauge his reaction. So let's see what happens. So there she goes, and he goes, he's not impressed, he just walks away. Yeah. Yep. And she keeps, and he's just like, no, get away from me, because you know she's wearing, you know what she's wearing? She's wearing, let me get her up. She's wearing this, and again that's something no dad wants to see, you know. Anyway, something for the dads, but not her dad. There you go. That's the punchline. Sorry, it's not very good. It's not very good. It's not a very good one. So should we do some like horror stories now, shall we? Because it's Halloween, isn't it? Ooh, right. Ooh. Do you want to know something that's really terrifying? Kirsty Baker. Here she is. And do you know what she finds terrifying? Scottish accents. Yeah, she has a phobia of Scottish accents. She was once a fan of David Tennant, obviously when he was in Doctor Who and not doing a Scottish accent, and then when she found out he had a Scottish accent, put her right off. But yeah, she's got xenoglossophobia, which is the irrational fear of hearing another language. I suppose you could extend it to accents. So yeah, xenoglossophobia. You learn stuff here. You learn stuff. You're learning stuff. I'll make you learn. I'm going to learn you good. So about this fella. This is Josh Nally from Kentucky, right? And he got, again, viral fame, I guess so. But he used to post pictures of himself on TikTok, right, pretending to be dead, right? So yeah, he just pose as a corpse, like you do, because you got to have a hobby. See, here he is in a river, and here he is by his car. Again, he does a really good job of being dead. You know, look at him; he's very good at it. It's a skill. But I mean, I think this one, even his dog's worried about him. It's like, you all right? So yeah, he was posting these on TikToks, on the old TikToks, and it's won him a role in CSI Vegas, playing a corpse. How cool is that? So maybe TikTok is a force for good, after all. I guess we'll never know. So yeah, that's a kind of a horror show, isn't it? How about this one? This is the story of Chai Kyung-ang, right? Here she is. This is gruesome. This is horror. And again, she's from Washington. She was, right, stabbed, duct taped and buried in a shallow grave in the woods by her estranged husband, right? Yeah. But she managed to claw her way out. And called 911 using her Apple Watch. There you go. But yeah, he threatened her. He said that he'd rather kill her than give her his retirement money. And yeah, this is here he is. This is Chai Hyung-hang. He's the husband, and Yong Suk-hang is the wife. I got their names the wrong way around because I'm holding back a sneeze. But that's horror. Is that horror? Okay, well I can do better than that. I've been saving this one. Let's just cue up the video. This video, this is going to get demonetized completely, but we're going to watch it. This is a dog running along the road with a severed human head. Yeah, they've blurred it, obviously. A severed human head. Really, Darren? Yeah, really. This is in Mexico, on the streets of Zacatecas. Apparently, the dismembered head had been left at an ATM booth in Monte Escobedo, with a warning sign saying the next head is yours, because the area is there's violence and crime everywhere. And this dog saw the head. See, that's the crime scene. That dog saw the head and thought, I'm having that. There's a still image of it running along the road with a head. I think that's got to be one of the worst animal stories we covered there. Yeah. I can give you one more. This is the story of urban explorer Macaulay Farnaby from Suffolk. And I don't know if you know what urban explorers do. They go around and they find abandoned buildings, usually homes, and sometimes they find like estates that have been abandoned and people's lives are left in a time capsule. Well, Mr. Farnaby, he broke into one place and found a morgue. Yeah, it was a morgue. Yeah. And as soon as he went inside, he was hit by the smell of death. It included a table, hanging aprons, gloves, body salts, an old tin of air freshener, oxide plaster tape buckets, and a blood wash basin. Yeah, it's pretty grim, isn't it? It's like something from a horror film. There you go. And I think we'll end it there. I doubt if there's anyone in the chat, because this is far too terrifying. Scott's in. He said, "Good morning, morning." Zeb says, "Risky Sunak." Indeed, he's very rich. Dishy Rishi to us. Payne says, "Good afternoon. I'm not paying a penny to prove I'm me. I'll just have to take your word for it." Guero's in. He says, "Morning." Afternoon there. Andrew says, "Hi, Darren. Just under grass, mainly leaves at the moment." You're not one of those people that has a leaf blower. There's nothing more impotent than watching someone with a leaf blower blowing leaves from one place to another. The reason they're called leaves is because you leave them there. You leave them there. I've never once in my life cleaned up leaves. They usually just blow away or turn to mulch. Sorry, that's just one of my bugbears. Sorry, it's just I've just revealed just a little bit more of my psyche. Andrew says, "Sounds like a load of balls, indeed." Oh my God, indeed. Bonnie said, "Should invite the postie in for a cameo." It was the Amazon man. He couldn't stop. But you wouldn't be interested. You wouldn't be interested in it. It's a Funko Pop. To go with my other Funko Pop. It's a Queen Funko Pop. I'm sad. Just anyway, I'm out of here. But yeah, if you want to give me money to buy more Funko Pops, then please do. You know where to send the cash. Thank you for watching. My name's been Darren Locke. That was a scary. Ooh, a scary. It won't work because it's daylight. Ooh, that was a scary. Ooh, news. Ooh, scary. Ooh. Imagine I'm in the dark. Hold it. I can do that. Wait a minute. If I turn the lights off. Right, look. Ooh, scary news. Ooh. Drink it up.